Hello and welcome to Longshot Larry's Sports Astrology. Today we're going to be looking at exact aspects in a game chart. If you've missed the first video in this series on game charts, I'll put a link up here in the top right hand corner so you can check that out. So what are we looking at for an exact aspect during the match? So the aspect between two planets must become partile during the game or exact. We're looking at planets from Mercury out. The moon can act as a trigger, as well as full and new moons, but we'll be looking at that in another video. The aspects we're looking at: conjunction, opposition, square, trine and sextile. Quincunx is also looked at, but that's a minor aspect. And the idea is to see how the aspect will impact a team. Certain aspects, if Pluto's involved, raise the chances that there will be an upset, but we'll look at that a little bit later. So let's have a look at some examples. So we've got four charts here. First two are AFL charts. The third chart is a wildcard playoff game in the NFL between Pittsburgh, who are playing at Denver. And the last one is a playoff game in the European Champions League with Wolfsburg at home to Real Madrid. So here's the first chart, Collingwood v Hawthorn. And you can see in this chart here the exact aspect is Mars is applying 2 minutes of arc to Uranus, and that will become exact during the game. Mars does rule the ascendant here, so that's important for the favourite. The next one is Hawthorn at home to Sydney. This is another playoff game. In this particular chart here, we can see that the Sun is at 6 Libra 26. It's in an opposition to Uranus here, applying 7 minutes. This actually finished exact, and AFL game goes for about 2.5 hours. And you'll also notice that Uranus is separating from a square to Pluto there, so it's actually triggering that whole aspect. The next one is Pittsburgh away at Denver. In this particular chart here, you can see that Mercury is 0, Capricorn 54. It's 6 minutes away from a square to Uranus. Mercury is moving quite quickly and actually finished about 7 minutes past Uranus. So Mercury square Uranus is the exact aspect here, and you'll see that Mercury rules the ascendant, so that has implications for the favourite. And the last one is Wolfsburg versus Real Madrid, a game in the European Champions League. And you'll see here that the Sun is 1723 Aries, Pluto is 17 Capricorn 27. The Sun and Pluto quite often turn up in the charts of upsets, especially the square and opposition, and that will become exact during the game. So, time for you guys to see if you can find the aspects yourself. We've got four charts here. We've got the Wimbledon final from 2019, an epic battle between Djokovic and Federer. We've got a one-day cricket match, India versus South Africa from the World Cup from 2015. We've got a regular season game in the NBA between Boston and Charlotte. And we've got a game from this year in the National Rugby League. We've got Manly playing the Gold Coast. So pause it now, draw those charts up and see how you go. Okay, let's go through some answers. So the first chart, Djokovic v Federer, which this game actually went for 6 hours. It's the longest Wimbledon final on record. You can see here that the Sun is opposing Pluto, applying 4 minutes away. That became exact during the game, and because this game went for nearly 6 hours, this aspect was separating about 10 minutes when it finished. Of note, you also had a World Cup cricket final going on that day between England and New Zealand, which was another incredibly close game, with England actually winning in a super over because it was all tied up after the end of the game. Okay, the next one is the first time that India beat South Africa in a World Cup game. You can see that Venus and Mars here. Venus is applying to Mars 2 minutes away. And if you watch the previous video, you can also see that Saturn is on the descendant, which was very helpful for India in this game. The next one, Boston away to Charlotte, a regular season game. We can see in this chart here that Venus is applying to Saturn 4 minutes away from arc, and Venus rules the ascendant and also the part of fortune. And the last one is an NRL game, Manly versus the Gold Coast. You can see here that Mars 26 Gemini 11 is exactly trine Jupiter. You can't get a better aspect for that in sports, and they're also trine the part of fortune. Fantastic grand trine here. Now, a bit of a background to this game. Manly, this was round 6, so Manly had won one game previously by 1 point, and they were playing terrible. Gold Coast were the favourites, they were playing very well. Manly did get their star player back, and they ended up winning this game. So I've just quickly put up the Manly coach here, and you can see his sun is 27 Aquarius, so Jupiter is in positive motion at this point of time. It is applying to his sun, and he has a natal sun trine Mars, so that was triggering that aspect. Very good, trine the part of fortune. And this particular game here, Manly ended up winning 36-0, an absolute drubbing, completely unexpected, but that Mars trine Jupiter worked out really well for them. Okay, so let's go through some answers. So the first one, the Wimbledon final, was Sun opposite Pluto, applying 4 minutes. Next one, the one-day cricket game, Venus conjunct Mars, applying 2 minutes. The NBA, Venus conjunct Saturn, applying 4 minutes. And the last one, Manly versus the Gold Coast, Mars trine Jupiter, which was exact. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.